Newsom has until, what, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, put universal health care on the House floor and Senate floor for a vote. Just put it on the floor for a vote. Just vote on the damn thing. If the representatives are against it, fine, but just put it up for a vote. And if Gavin Newsom does not put universal health care up for a vote, you can't elect him again. You got to recall him. You got to throw that bum out, and you got to put Michael Loebs in there, or Kapelovitz, or Drake, or David Moore. You got to put somebody that's in favor of universal health care. We know Larry Elder's opposed to universal health care. Gavin promised it to us, but the legislature voted it down. It's not even a priority. No wonder the Democrats are about to lose their own state. They did not have a progressive agenda. It's the opposite of what Sean Hannity says. It's not because of a progressive agenda. It's because they didn't have a progressive agenda. No war on drugs, no housing for the homeless, and no universal health care.
System that replaces our current inefficient and expensive social safety net system and gets money to the people who need it when they need it. Automatic enrollment for all residents in Medi-Cal, which will allow all of us to have access to health care regardless of what is happening in the rest of the world. Along with this, the California National Party and my campaign is geared toward a respect for the complexity and diversity of California. We are a large and complex place, and the idea that a single solution can bring the answers we need to all parts of California is simply not feasible.
So we'll listen to a little bit more of him. I just want to talk about who this Michael Loebs is. So we have 4 candidates. That's how, forced to vote. We don't need no goddamn, Jimmy Dore. I can't get a hold of Jimmy Dore. Do y'all know Jimmy Dore? You got his phone number? I can't get a hold of Gavin Newsom. You know Gavin Newsom? You got his phone number? So this is an idea, right? It's a good idea. I feel like there's going to be enough people that's going to vote no on the recall, but if there's not, that's the big question. If there's not enough people that vote in the recall to vote against it, then that means you're going to have Larry Elder. No, you got to have a backup candidate. You got to have a backup candidate, meaning if you vote yes or no, people are going to vote for somebody. And who are they going to vote for? To leave that question blank is so stupid and arrogant and selfish and narcissistic, and it makes no sense. It's a terrible strategy. They think that Californian voters are just so damn stupid that they couldn't understand that you can vote no on the recall and then vote for, if the recall happened, what would your choice for the governor be? They couldn't, process step 2. Step 1, right, then step 2. And in a way, it's political when you get people thinking about who would you rather have as governor. Well, there is that's a political mindset that's smart, that's intelligent, because it's like, well, okay, I know you like Gavin Newsom and you want him to stay, but if you don't want him to stay, regardless, California doesn't have universal health care. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't want to have an Austrian-style kind of universal, or German-style, or Switzerland kind of, Sweden, German, Iceland, Canada kind of, didn't want to have government to do, but he just said, you heard, Michael Loebs is in favor of universal health care. So is Dan Kapelovitz, the Green Party bro. Hey, brosif, what's going on? You got the Trotsky, David Moore, right? The Trotsky, and then you also have Angelyne she's for insurance companies to have a place at the table, so she might be for some kind of mixed government system. I'm not for sure, but Angelyne, her health care plan is terrible, so don't vote for Angelyne. She'd be my 5th choice if you don't like Kapelovitz, if you don't like David Moore, if you don't like Michael Loebs, and if you don't like John Robert Drake, vote for Angelyne, because she's got a shit ton of progressive planks. But in terms of universal health care, that's the forced to vote thing, right? Nancy Pelosi put it on the floor, or else we're going to vote for somebody else. They kept saying, nah, you're going to get Kevin McCarthy, you're going to get Kevin McCarthy. You're going to get Kevin McCarthy regardless. You're about to get Larry fucking Elder. So now it's put up or shut up, right? Did you understand your own damn tactic there, Jimmy Dore? Did you understand your own forced to vote tactic? You're about to get a Kevin McCarthy. What you could do is prevent California from getting a Kevin McCarthy, a Larry Elder, by saying Dan Kapelovitz, vote for Dan Kapelovitz, or vote for John Robert Drake, or vote for, Angelyne or David Moore or Michael Loebs. So let's listen to some more Michael Loebs. Let's just let this run all the way through.
And so another big part of the California National Party and my own campaign is the recognition that different regions of California will require different solutions produced by representatives who are directly accountable to that electorate. So we also favor the strengthening of local government, reform of Board of Supervisors when necessary, an expansion of regional, city, and county governments, and putting more in the hands of those locally accounted officials, such as, for example, a county-based gun regulation and registration system, similar to what we have with the DMV now for automobiles and driving skills. Reduction of the California-wide gas tax, which is inherently regressive and in fact causes an undue burden on many Californians who are in fact on the lowest economic strata. Things like setting school hours, a bill that was actually vetoed by former Governor Jerry Brown. Setting aside the idea that Sacramento should be able to determine the way California behaves. And so this is part of this necessary rebirth of California politics, a politics that will actually take California seriously, not simply as a staging ground for running for further federal office, not simply as a PR campaign for your Instagram followers, but seeing that California is in trouble. And nobody is going to fix California except for us. No answers, no solutions are going to come from outside. And the further that we, the California people, continue to think of ourselves as merely an adjunct to American politics, the longer we will be unable to solve our problems. The longer we won't be focusing on what's happening in our own backyard while we stamp our feet and scream about battles taking place 3,000 miles away. And so I ask everybody who is here today, I ask everybody who is listening to begin taking California seriously, to recognize the idea that it's time for us to define ourselves with our own party, with our own identity, with our own politics. And so I ask you and everyone else in California to join me and the California National Party in helping to build a better California together.
So that's Michael Loebs, right? Good old Michael Loebs. Michael Loebs? No, Loebs. Okay, so Michael Loebs. What does Michael Loebs believe? Well, Michael Loebs believes in, a couple of things. Michael Loebs, I'll tell you what he believes. Here's what Michael Loebs believes. Michael Loebs, he wants to get rid of the war on drugs. That's the same as Gavin Newsom and Larry Elder. Everybody wants to get rid of the war on drugs. Which drugs are you going to legalize, Gavin Newsom? Which drugs? Crack? Probably Gavin would legalize crack. Larry Elder would legalize cocaine. And Michael Loebs, he's the California Nationalist Party. He's against the war on drugs. Michael Loebs is against the war on drugs. He's in favor of a universal basic income. He's in favor of universal health care. He's in favor of instant runoff voting. He's in favor of net neutrality. He's against corporate personhood. He's going to end corporate personhood. He's going to help build a high-speed rail. He's in favor of funding for the arts. He's in favor of independence for California. He wants a California People's Bank with accounts for all the residents, Office of Innovation to spur future technologies. He wants an equity fund for investment in community-owned businesses, universal basic income automatically. That's better than Dan Kapelovitz, who just wants a basic income. It's not universal. He just wants to, get like 10 people a basic income. Angelyne, the same as John, let's see, the Angelyne doesn't have UBI, but John Robert Drake has, is for UBI. So John Robert Drake is for UBI, Michael Loebs is for UBI. Let's see, instant runoff voting. Kapelovitz said he was for instant runoff voting, but he also says he's for some kind of, he also wants to convert the Senate, Michael Loebs wants to convert the Senate to proportional representation and add members to the Assembly. I don't know, it seems like Michael Loebs kind of understands democracy better than Kapelovitz does. He wants to give more power, Michael Loebs does, to the counties and encourage them to work together on common regional challenges. Michael Loebs does not want a wall. He wants humane immigration policies. No wall, no use of state employees for federal immigration enforcement, and expanded guest worker programs formulated by each county to meet its needs. Creation of a California residency permit program regardless of United States immigration status. In corporate personhood. No pro-net neutrality. Build desalination capacity to generate fresh water. It's better than Caitlyn Jenner's plan. High-speed rail. Improve public transportation, including high-speed rail. He's got a 50-50 nationalized electricity plan. He wants to break up PG&E with California, the state owning the transmission grid, and the local governments or corporations to control the distribution grids. And this, Kapelovitz actually might, I think he just wants to nationalize all the electricity. Michael Loebs wants a constitutional amendment for a right to privacy. He wants an oil extraction tax with a reduced state gas. He wants to have an end to mass government surveillance, particularly those targeting members of specific ethnic or religious groups. He's neither a socialist nor a capitalist. Michael Loebs wants campaign finance reform with contribution limits by individuals and corporations. Michael Loebs wants free preschool, smaller class sizes for K through 12 programs to ensure college accessibility to all students. He wants a California history requirement. This is a novel idea. I think it might stick because Larry Elder's not going to make you learn about the Pomo natives and the Natanukwa, the original California Native Americans, right? Who are the Native Americans to Kentucky? Well, that's the Shawnee and the Ute and the Cherokee and the goddamn Chickasaw and the Choctaw over there on the Jackson Purchase. But Ute, Shawnee, Cherokee, those are the 5 main ones. There's actually about 20 different Native Americans. But if Larry Elder is he ain't going to say shit, but if Michael Loebs is the governor, well, you're going to learn about California. California has its own unique everything, right? We all do. We all have our own unique everything. Michael Loebs wants a bilingual education for everybody. Michael Loebs wants to, he promises guaranteed transfers from high schools and community colleges for good students and a reduction in the cost of postgraduate degrees. Michael Loebs wants criminal justice reforms, especially the bail system, with the elimination of qualified immunity and transfer of funding to non-police agencies. Michael Loebs wants gun regulation by county with a state licensing system similar to automobiles. Michael Loebs wants to end the war on drugs. He wants to decriminalize recreational drugs and ban civil forfeiture. Michael Loebs wants funding for the arts. He wants increased support for educators as well as paid family leave. And it looks like universal health care. He says we need Medi-Cal for all. So it's government health care. He wants to simplify existing medical programs in California into a Medi-Cal for all system. He wants greater health care access for rural communities and all other traditionally underserved communities in California with an emphasis on preventive care. Michael Loebs wants tax credits for caregivers to sustain multi-generational communities. Michael Loebs wants to protect and expand California's existing autonomy with increasing moves towards true sovereignty, the transfer from the federal government of all land within California's borders, implement a California National Service Program, call a constitutional convention to improve California's Constitution in ways that encourage and build towards independence for the California Republic with the consent of the United States. He's in favor of secession. He's in favor of the independence movement. I like the California Constitution Convention. That's fucking revolutionary. Call a constitutional convention. You can get a change in leadership. You could have coup d'etats. You could also have a constitutional convention. You change all the rules to the game. Okay, this is how we play Monopoly. No, let's throw the rules out. Now this is how we play Monopoly. So that's a constitutional revolution. That's what a constitutional convention would bring. So anybody could call for a constitutional convention, and it's going to get written however it gets written. But so it's not going to just be. And actually, I'm glad I read this. I didn't know he was for gun control because he just gives me the sense that he's kind of an anarchist, a libertarian, a right-wing militia guy, more so than a progressive. Yeah, you want secession, you want independence. I think you could be progressive. I think California, very much America is the big-ass, elephant on California's back. Poor, California has basically been, propping up the rest of America when it comes to the vegetables and the fruits and the nuts. They produce all of our food, it seems like, and California, there's a lot of shit that California is doing. It's the 5th largest economy. They don't need America. So to think that they could secede and they would be fine, they would do fine. They would be, I mean, California is just as big as many countries, and they got an economy just as big as, you know, one of the biggest economies. So they got one of the biggest. California, anything the rest of the world can do, California can do. If they just, you know, pull their heads out of their ass, and if California can just pull their heads out of their collective asses, then, you know, they might be able to go